For over half a century at this point, Doctor Who has been arguably the show of Britain. Its ability to transcend generations and time is oddly appropriate given the entire premise of the show is the same person time travelling while continually changing forms. Just like how the show has changed over decades. Over those decades, there's been hundreds of episodes, many of which focus on the act of time travel itself. Others that just use it as a plot device to get from one place to another. But some of the show's best scenes across the entire show are moments that are intelligent, original, and fantastic. Here are the 3 best examples of timey-wimey scenes in Doctor Who. So, without further ado, Geronimo! The first scene is from the Matt Smith episode A Christmas Carol from season 6 of New Who. The episode is a parody of, naturally, A Christmas Carol. In it, the Doctor serves as both the ghost of Christmas past and future, with him going back in time to give an old, powerful man called Kazran a different childhood and relationship with Christmas. While him going back in time to the younger Kazran has some excellent moments, and may or may not have led him to getting engaged to Marilyn Monroe, it's his actions as the ghost of Christmas future that really cement this episode as one of the best time travel episodes of Doctor Who. In the original Christmas Carol, the ghost of Christmas future shows Scrooge his future death and how no one cared for him in life, or in death. Meanwhile, here, the Doctor gets to hear about how Kazran doesn't care that he will die cold, alone, and afraid from the man himself. But the Doctor does something just a little different.
Do you know why I'm going to let those people die? Not a plan. I don't get anything from it. It's just that I don't care. I'm not like you. I don't even want to be like you. I don't and never ever will care.
And I don't believe that.
Then show me the future. Prove me wrong.
I am showing it to you. I'm showing it to you right now. So what do you think? Is this who you want to become, Kazran?
Dad?
This planet is ours. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. It's okay to be frightened. I'm so sorry.
By showing the child Kazran the future that he will grow up to be a hateful, misanthropic, uncaring man, who believes he will die in the same way Scrooge does. Not only does it adapt the original Christmas Carol story in an original manner as opposed to the dozens of one-to-one copies the story has, it also serves as a surprise to the audience, not expecting that once again the Doctor would be helping Kazran's present from the past. But more than that, it reminds us that everyone and everything's past was once the present, and your present is the future for yourself in the past. And that we all are different people all through our lives and that we keep changing. And with the Doctor's question of, so what do you think? Is this who you want to become, Kazran? It makes us all question if we are who our younger selves would have wanted to become. The second scene comes from the season 7 episode of New Who, The Day of the Doctor. The 50th anniversary special featuring Matt Smith, David Tennant and John Hurt In this scene, all three of the doctors are imprisoned in the Tower of London. Their sonic screwdrivers can't get them out because the lock on the door is too primitive. While Matt Smith works on his escape plan by carving the code to a vortex manipulator in one of the pillars, John Hurt gets an idea.
400 years.
Sorry?
Well, at a software level, they're all the same device, aren't they? Same software, different case.
Yeah. So,
it would take centuries for the screwdriver to calculate how to disintegrate the door. Scanning the door, implanting the calculation as a permanent subroutine in the software architecture. And if you really are me, with your sand shoes and your dicky bow, and that screwdriver is still mine, that calculation is still going on.
yeah, still going. Calculation complete.
Same software, different face.
Hey, 400 years in 4 seconds. We may have had our differences, which is frankly odd in the circumstances, but I tell you what, boys, we are incredibly clever. How did you do that?
Wasn't locked.
Right.
This is clever on scientific, thematic, and character grounds. For the character, it's a perfect encapsulation of what the Doctor is. The phrase, "it's the same screwdriver, same software, different case," perfectly describes the Doctor and his regeneration cycles. With even though his face and personality changing, who he is as a person remains consistent.
Yeah, it's all a bit timey-wimey. Is that still a thing?
Going strong.
We never change. All these faces and we never really change.
Just as his screwdriver changes with him, the insides remain the same. Scientifically as well, it makes perfect sense. Due to the fact that Matt Smith and David Tennant doctors are present, it makes it already certain that the John Hurt Doctor did indeed escape, and as such lived for an additional 400 years. Therefore, any calculations the sonic screwdriver could make over the last 400 years would already be calculated in Matt Smith's. This makes it thematically an extremely elegant solution to the problem the Doctors find themselves in. The scene also doesn't make Matt Smith's carving in the pillar pointless, as Clara comes through in the end thanks to the engraving he made on the pillar, instead of the sonic screwdriver escape attempt which couldn't account for her. All of these things together make the "it's the same screwdriver" scene the second best timey-wimey moment in Doctor Who. Before going on to the third and best timey-wimey scene from Doctor Who, here are some honourable mentions. The first is the wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff scene from the episode Blink. From Season 3, Episode 10 of New Who, this is one of the most famous scenes of timey-wimey shenanigans from the show, and is in fact what popularised the term timey-wimey. What's clever about the scene is that the Doctor is talking to someone in the present from the past because of knowledge from the future that is being created in this exact scene. He's put himself into DVDs over the years so that he can have this exact conversation. The knowledge of what to say and the timing comes from Larry in this scene writing everything down. This makes this scene a bootstrap paradox, which is a type of paradox in which the requirements for a thing to exist are made by the thing itself, i.e., in this case, making a transcript of the conversation enables the conversation to be had, which makes it able to be transcribed.
I programmed my ghost to say them because that's what my ghost had said. And the only reason that I created my ghost hologram in the first place was because I saw it here. I was reverse engineering the narrative.
Okay, that's still pretty smart.
You do not understand. When did I first have those ideas, Clara?
Well, it must have been... Wow.
Exactly. Who composed Beethoven's Fifth?
The other honourable mention is Season 10, Episode 11 of New Who, World Enough and Time. In this episode, the Doctor is on a spaceship that is in the process of being eaten by a black hole. This causes the ship to undergo time dilation, meaning that the rate at which time is experienced begins to alter from what would be considered normal time. This is a real phenomenon and is something that real spaceships in the future will have to compensate for. What is clever about this episode specifically was that because different parts of the ship are at different distances from the black hole, which makes every area of the ship experience time dilation at different levels of severity, which is what would happen in real life, which makes it not only a unique and creative story for a time travel show, but also an accurate depiction of it if it were happening in real life.
Short version. Because of the black hole, time is moving faster at this end of the ship than the other. It's all about gravity. Gravity slows down time. The closer you are to the source of gravity, the slower time will move. You're standing in your garden, your head is traveling faster through time than your feet. Then they teach you this stuff at space school.
Now the final timey-wimey moment. The greatest scene of time travel shenanigans in all of Doctor Who is the entire episode of Heaven Sent from Season 9, Episode 11. Not only is it just an excellent plot line of escaping a mysterious castle, but it fully embodies what the Doctor is, and it plays with time in perhaps the most unique way in all of science fiction. The opening lines alone, as you come into this world,
Something else is also born.
You begin your life, and it begins a journey.
Towards you. It moves slowly, but it never stops.
Wherever you go, whatever path you take, it will follow. Never faster, never slower.
Always coming. You will run. It will walk.
You will rest. It will not.
One day, you will linger in the same place too long.
Sleep too deep.
And when, too late, you rise to go.
You will notice a second shadow next to yours. Your life
will then be over.
In a literal sense, this is talking about the veil, an entity in a cloth surrounded by flies that when it lays hands upon the Doctor will die. But more significantly than that, this speaks of time itself. It never speeds up, it never slows down, it never stops, it is always coming. It doesn't matter how fast we age or how slow we age, it will always catch up to us and claim us for the dead. And for the Doctor himself, the man who always runs, it adds to his fear. Not just because of his fear of death, or an event from his childhood which the veil represents.
Old. Very old. Possibly very, very old. When I was a very little boy, there was an old lady who died. They covered her in veils, but it was a hot, sunny day, and the flies came. Gave me nightmares for years. So who's been stealing my nightmares?
It also means the end. And the Doctor hates endings.
Why did you do that? Oh, I always rip out the last page of a book. Then it doesn't have to end. I hate endings.
And that everybody dies. Something he refuses to accept, including his own. The episode itself, it has the castle reset every room after being away for a significantly long period of time. Aside from just adding to the mystery of the castle, it is reminiscent of the show's format as well. Every episode, the Doctor restarts, new adventure, new companion, new face. like the events of the previous episodes never happened. The episodic story structure of Doctor Who is about as important to Doctor Who as the TARDIS itself is. So having to also be adapted into this story is marvellous writing, especially with how it fits into the conclusion, and the best timey-wimey part of the episode. Halfway through the episode, the Doctor calculated that he was 7,000 years in the future. However, he hadn't felt any time travel, and that he also hadn't been teleported more than a light year from his previous position. The conclusion of the episode reveals that he had been here for 7,000 years, continually going over the same loop again and again and again. Every time punching a wall 400 times as hard as Diamond with his escape behind it. Every time he can only get in so many punches before the veil claims him, and he has to return to the first room he was in, and burn his own body as energy to make a new him, for 4.5 billion years. This is one of the only actual instances of time travel in the show. The TARDIS doesn't really time travel. It time teleports, takes you from one location in time to another location in time instantly. There's no actual travelling involved. But here the Doctor moved 4.5 billion years into the future by actually travelling through it. It's just that he can only remember one loop by the end. And his speech as he punches through the wall, it perfectly encapsulates what time is. Small gains that eventually add up to a large result, and what the Doctor is. A man who through hundreds of thousands of small victories has left the universe as a whole a better place. As he said, there's this emperor, and he asked the shepherd's boy, how many seconds in eternity? And the shepherd's boy
says, there's this mountain of pure diamond. It takes an hour to climb it, and an hour to go around it. Every 100 years, a little bird comes and sharpens its beak on the diamond mountain. And when the entire mountain is chiseled away, the first second of eternity will have passed. You must think that's a hell of a long time. Personally, I think that's a hell of a... Personally, I think that's a hell of a bird.